Hey, this is Tool Dude Tony. I'd like to welcome you to this episode of Tool Dude vs. Wild. On today's episode, we're going to take a look up close and personal at my new Clark TX-250 Jungle Hammock. I like camping in the fall. It's so pretty and the temperature is just right and you don't have to worry about bugs. You do got to pay attention though to poison ivy. There is still some of that around. And you don't want to get messed with the vines either, because even after the leaves are gone, the vines are still there. Hey, there it is. That's my Clark TX-250. Let's take a closer look, eh? Why a TX instead of the NX? This is why, guys, down here. I do most of my camping in the winter time or in the fall, and I like to use an underquilt. The pockets were of no use to me because I'm going to use that underquilt. So with the TX, I'm able to basically have the pockets on each end. But there's some down here, the Clark pockets that you can put your stuff into. It's supposed to be insulation for warmer weather. And then there's two more pockets down on this end. They basically surround my 3/4 length underquilt, which is perfect. I can stuff some stuff in there, take a lighter weight, shorter underquilt, and I am good to go. Let's check out some of the features of this thing. Okay, I went ahead and got the upgrade of the tarp. This is the Vertex size tarp. This is the same size pretty much as the War Bonnet Mamba Jamba, Big Mamba Jamba, Big Mamba Jamma, whatever the hell you call it. You know which one I'm talking about. And or the Superfly without doors. I'm gonna go ahead and peel the tarp back so you can see better. Okay, one of the features of this Clark is that it has this weather shield. It's a zip-in protector that basically goes over the bug net. You have to use the bug net with this. On the older model, the NX200, which didn't have the hoops, you didn't have to use the bug net. But with this one you do, no big deal. I used it last night because it got down into the low 30s, but it's kind of cool. When you don't need it, basically it folds up and you stuff it into one of these pouches here at the end. This thing has a full bug net. Now this is a different kind of bug net than I've seen on any of the other hammocks. It's definitely a super fine mesh. Isn't going to let anything through. It has reinforcements in various places that makes it very usable for a long time. You can pretty much unzip this all the way if you wanted to, and also tuck it into another one of these pockets up here and go netless if you wanted to. One other reason why I got the TX is this shield here in the front. This is over your head, the head end. If you unzip this, basically it gives you pretty much unblocked view to the world around you. I also have an NX200 hammock that from Clark that does not have these hoops. And believe me, having this hoop in here, it's really just a small skinny piece of tent fiberglass rod here that holds this thing open. It really spreads this thing open nicely. Gives you all kinds of room inside. Inside I'm using a Jacks Are Better Hudson River. Love this top quilt, good down to 20 degrees. I've never been cold on top of that. Down here on the bottom it says that Jacks Are Better Greylock 3. Oh, with a pair of socks in the bottom of it. Greylock 3 is also good down to 20 degrees, and it did fine for me last night. Now this Greylock 3 has an elastic shock cord that runs all the way end to end. Also goes through this channel in this thing. You can slide this around, make it really nice. But to hold it in place, the Clark already had these loops here. So I just basically connected an S-beaner to it, ran the shock cord then over the top of the hoops that are in this thing, and bam, I'm good to go. Had a little bit of a gap, made to make sure that I kept this close to this part, because again, this is the pockets that they give you. And all I have in here is a shirt from last night, or yesterday, and some of the stuff sacks for some of this stuff. Now we're looking at the head end again. There are two pockets in here. They're the same color and fabric. This one is just a pocket, doesn't hold a whole lot. You could get a cell phone in there. I had a couple of flashlights in this one. Now this side, this pocket's a little bit more unique. It has an opening on the end, so if you have a pistol, you can have the barrel pointing out the end of it if it's longer than this pouch. So this one's really nice to have. You know, if you want to sleep with your gun, you're all set. So, or not, that's fine too. Not really wanting to go with the Clark ropes. I went ahead and switched out the suspension with some Dutchware cinch buckles and strapping. I got the 14-foot straps. They seem to be a little long for what I typically do. It was really no big deal just to run the this Amstale loop through the channeled end of this Clark and easy retrofit. Now up at this end of the tree strap, I got my Dutch clip. This is the new titanium clip. I love these clips. These are really good. Okay, and then for tarp suspension, I also went with Dutchware. This is his stingers, and I added a from Mountain Goat. They created these snake skins for me, and I just got a piece of Dyneema on here in case the Dutch thing doesn't go far enough. That gives me a little bit of an extension. Now this is my tarp with its mesh snake skins from Mountain Goat. Katarina made these for me. They're just beautiful. They fit perfectly. So here's my end of my tarp with its snake skin on it by Mountain Goat Hardware. So I've got my stuff all tied together, and there's a little pocket here. I'm just going to stuff it in. Don't have to worry about it snagging. Look at that. Beautiful, huh? Good to go. Good work, Katarina. Thank you. Now the Clark stuff sack is actually built in. It's actually the front pocket down by the head end. Turn it inside out, it becomes a stuff sack. You can stuff the whole thing in here. If you use a smaller tarp, you could stuff that in here too, but since I went with the Vertex tarp, I've got that in a separate mesh bag. So why did I pick a Clark? They're one of the most expensive hammocks out there, but dollar for dollar, pound for pound, they really are comfortable. I'm surprised. They are a gathered in hammock. Don't let this hooping here fool you. This really just spreads it out so you've got a lot of room, or at least it feels like you've got a lot of room while you're inside. This is a very roomy hammock. I'm a short guy. I've got plenty of room in here. Taller guys should have no problems whatsoever themselves. It is a gathered in hammock. It does, if you set it up properly, you could pretty much lay any place. You don't have to go to the side if you don't want to. I tend to maybe have my feet off center one way or the other just a little bit. I sleep on my side, I sleep on my back, I sleep for 11 hours straight if I want to in this thing. It's actually more comfortable than my bed. I love it. It is fantastic. I'm going to sleep outside in it as much as I can. So I've had other brands and they also are very comfortable, but this definitely I think blows the other ones away. So it's Tool Dude Tony. Thank you for watching this episode of Tool Dude vs. Wild. This is my review and demo of my Clark TX-250 hammock. Take care. Tool Dude, out of here. I love camo. Did I ever mention that?